This is Adult Edge. It's our podcast where we talk about topics that we find interesting. I'm Bobby.
I'm Shay.
And this week we're talking about best and worst customer service experiences.
Because they're hilarious.
Sometimes. In the moment they are not. Afterwards,
Super
freaking
funny afterward.
You tell after. So don't think we're complaining.
No, we're just telling you stories.
We're just funny stories now. I know that mine are all coming from me working retail.
Mm.
Are yours all from being?
I'm the customer.
You're the customer.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Look at us.
Look at us.
Wow.
So you both sides. Although I could tell stories from when I did customer service,
yeah.
for sure. Like when I worked for insurance. Oh man, some people.
Bet that was awful.
Oh, dude. Anyway, I actually want to write a book about this for realsies. I have like a whole outline of a book already ready to go on this topic, and every time a new one comes up that stands out particularly, I add it to the list.
Yeah.
Because I just think
that happened to you specifically ones you hear?
No, anything I experience.
Okay.
And I want to talk about like principles of good customer service and being a good customer, because it goes both directions.
I listened to a book about being a good customer service person.
Like as the worker?
As the worker.
Oh,
he
good.
made a book about customer service, whatever.
How fascinating.
I know, and it was really short.
I might read that.
Okay. I don't recommend it to you because we don't do that, but it is out there, and I'll give you the title. I'll say it in your presence, and you can pick it up or not.
Okay, there we go. No recommendation.
No recommendations.
No. But like, I really want to share some of these experiences, but I've narrowed it down to just the two because the podcast could go on for like 7 hours.
Oh yeah,
and we don't
could
need
just
that.
go.
Read my book someday.
She's gonna have a few. You're gonna have a chunk.
Several.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch. I keep them in a
You
file.
have a bunch?
Yeah.
Because I only know 2.
Yeah. So I have 3 in the fantasy series, and then I have a play
In the
that I
same
want.
fantasy series?
Yeah, they're like. Wow, we're gonna go way off topic if I explain
Is this
this whole
gonna be
thing
like a
to you
Brandon
now.
Sanderson thing where he's like, I have Mistborn and I have Law of Alloy and I have blah, 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 and they're all in the same universe, but they're not connected?
They're not necessarily
in a
connected,
row.
but they're all. So the fantasy series that I'm writing, there's a set that takes place in like the year 1000, and then one like the 1700s, and then in the modern era.
So, but they don't like connect somehow.
I mean,
they're in the same world, but
in,
they're not
in the
like
same way that being in England would connect to being in England later. You
okay,
know,
yeah.
that
So
kind
like
of thing,
regular
yeah.
stuff, but they're not like, oh, remember
it's not
Sally
like
from
the
book
children
series
of children.
number 1?
You know, there's no wizard that
Okay.
stays alive the whole time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so not like that. But then like I have the actual practical books, because I've already written a book about leadership. Now I want to write about this customer service, but I also have a play that I want to write that's just
A play?
yeah, I do have a play that I want to write. It would be super fun.
Oh my god.
I'm actually reading a play right now so that I understand how everything works. Anyway,
doing the research.
I am doing the research, but there's too many ideas. But I've got a bunch of different books I want to write. But this one I want to write because I feel like, first of all, it's hilarious.
Yes.
Because there's so many times where you're like, do you have any sense at all in your brain? I'm not going to say common because it's definitely not common, but like, do you have any sense of like perspective of what's going on around you? Like, how do you not understand?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Whatever. But you had some too. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Do you want me to do all of mine?
No,
Or just-
we'll exchange bads for bads. So you do a bad,
Okay.
I'll do a bad.
So
You do that.
I had a dude come in the other day. So I work at Lowe's in the plants, which I feel like plant people are haggling people. And in my mind, I work at a business, and we're not at a farmer's market. We're not at, the flea market, whatever. Like, you come in and I say it's $20, and
It's
you pay $20
$20
plus tax.
Right.
That's what you pay. I don't care.
There's no negotiation
There's
here.
no negotiation. And apparently there is in the people's minds, because this dude walks in, it's him and 3 youngish boys, maybe between 8 and 15.
Okay.
And he comes in and he's like, he wanders around with them. And it's kind of one of those things where you kind of get the vibe where you're like, this guy's gonna maybe not necessarily steal, but he just gives you those like,
Watch
don't
that
like
guy.
you. Yeah, I don't like you very much. And he then is like, do you guys have, I can't remember what he asked for, petunias. This size, I'm gonna just whatever, but a cup size of petunias.
Okay.
And we said, no, we have a gallon size petunias.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, well, do you have mums in a gallon size? And we said, no, we don't have mums at all. And he then goes, well, can I have the petunias in the gallon size, but I want them half off?
No.
And we're like, that's not how it works. Like, we're selling those as those.
Right.
So you can buy those or you can not buy those. And then he's like, okay, well, do you have this? And I went out and showed him some stuff. And he goes, okay, well, what kind of discount can you give me?
None.
And I was like, well, we have, because I was like, oh, you're one of them.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, we have our clearance over there, the ones that are like when a bunch of plants come in, we basically we only have a certain amount of space. So the clearance plants don't necessarily mean dead. They mean there's a small defect, the smallest of defects that we just need to put out the perfect ones so people buy them. So like you can go over there, and he goes, I'd like to talk to a manager.
Rude.
And I was like, because I know full well my manager's gonna fold. Full well. So I walkie this dude, and he goes, well, I'm in lumber.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, but he goes, what do you need? And I was like, well, there's a customer here that would like to talk to you. Okay, well, I'm in lumber. And you're like,
so fix my problem, manager. You're in charge.
I'm like, I am literally like 3 steps down from a manager. That's you. And like usually I would go up to the garden manager, and then I'd go up, like the team lead. Like I'd move my way up, but he was the only one there, so I had to move all the way up to him. And I'm like, I don't even want to deal with you, so I don't even want to walkie you anyways. So he's like, well, what does he want? So then the guy, I'm like, here, just tell me what he wants. He goes, I'd like a discount on all of your petunia, on like 20 of your petunias, because there's going to be a wedding and you guys don't have this stuff. He even told me, he goes, oh, at J&J's or whatever, they have these plants.
Then go to J&J's.
That's what I'm like, then go there. Then go over there and get your plants for exactly what you want them to be, because they're $10 or whatever. And instead you're here haggling prices.
No.
And trying to get free stuff. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, okay, give him a discount, put him on the distress price, which means half off, for 20 petunias.
No.
And that was it. He's like, okay, I'll go grab those. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go.
So like if I just walk into any store now and be like, oh, this is for a wedding, do I just get a discount because it's for a wedding? Oh, look, I have a bad cold today. Can I have a discount?
A guy came in, he goes, I want to talk to a manager about your trees. And I said, okay. And so then they couldn't come down because they were in lumber again.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, I'm going to buy quite a few. And in my mind, quite a few is like, I'm going to buy 10 or more. Yeah. Right? Like
a whole forest you're buying.
Not like 2, not like 3. That's like regular people freaking biz. And come to find out, he wanted to buy 4 trees. Just 4 trees. And he told him, well, the other Lowe's said that they would give me 90% off on on their apple trees, which I'm, again,
then go there.
Go on over there.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I was wondering if you give me 75, if you'll give me the same for this. And Brian was like, I'll give you 50, because that's what he had me tell him. I'll give you 50% off if he buys 10 or more. He's like, oh, well, I was just gonna buy 4. And so then he walked all the way down with me to Brian, because he was like, and he's like, what about 75%? And he's like,
no.
Yeah. And so he's like, well, he's like, that's fine. We'll give you 4 of them for 75%.
I feel like the company needs to fire this dude.
Yeah.
You're losing money.
They were 2 different people.
Well, they're losing money.
That's why I was like, because then when he asked for the 90% off, he was like, yeah, we're not going to make any money on that. So I can't give you that yet. And so then whatever. I'm like,
apparently life is negotiable?
I guess so.
I'm just going to start asking that at the grocery store. I don't really want to pay $7 for these eggs. Can I pay $5?
Yeah. That seems a little high for me.
Yeah, I don't feel like that today.
Yeah. These look a little poopy.
No.
And I picked them out of the bunch. You know, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
You find the worst ones and be like, can you give me a discount on this? No, because there's perfectly good ones next to the ones you just picked up.
No. I don't like that at all.
Anyways, there's my whatever.
Okay.
What do you have?
No.
I mean, I have more, so.
No, okay, no, you could go on for a long time. So this time, I'm the customer on this one.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a really nice person when it comes to customer service. Like, I'm so nice. Like, I never yell.
Right.
I ask appropriate questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people who's like jump to the manager. because I've been on the other side, so I know how to treat people.
Right.
Anyway, this happened when I got married. So we got a really nice photographer because that's the only thing that's gonna last, right? This is the pictures.
Yes.
So that's what we spent the money on. Really nice photographer. And you'd think for the price that we paid for this guy that everything would flow very smoothly.
Right,
That
like
is
he
not,
knows what he's doing.
That is not what happened.
Oh.
That is not what happened. So everything at the front end was really, really good, super professional. He showed us the booth and all of our options, and he promised us all this stuff. It was like, okay, so you'll get a DVD and you'll get all this, and like a photo book and an album, and so you can slip pictures in it, and all the stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is great for the amount of money that we're going to pay. That sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So he arrived on time, and he took all these amazing, wonderful pictures, and then ghosted us. Just disappeared. And so, like, you'd expect 2 weeks, maybe a month
Sure,
out
you
from
gotta
your
edit
wedding.
some,
Yeah,
gotta get rid of the garbage stuff, like
yeah,
whatever.
that's a normal time frame
Sure.
for most human beings.
Sure.
So like 2 weeks goes by, nothing. A month goes by, and I'm like, okay. So
I'd
I
be
start
in panic mode. That's too big of an event to be like, that's fine, I don't need
I
those.
know. So I start calling the store, and the store's response to me was, so he was an independent photographer, but he worked through a store, which is how we found
so
him.
like a salon where they like, you buy a booth,
Yeah, yeah.
like a hair cutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so I called the store and they're like, oh, so every summer he just goes on vacation. And we're like, that's great.
But like if you warned us,
Yeah.
you'd be like, your thing's right before my vacation, and I'd be like, oh, okay,
And
sure.
then, yeah, then you can come back. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
so most people have a normal vacation 2 weeks,
Sure.
right? Okay, no. So I wait for another month. So we're at 2 months now, I've been married, right? And nothing. The store hasn't called me, there's no emails, there's no text, nothing. And so I call him again. I'm like, hey, oh, well, we heard from him and he's just not ready. Okay, cool. So when?
Shoot me a text. Shoot
Yeah,
me
yeah.
an email that says, hey, I'm
Right.
so sorry it's
I
taking me
need
so
to
long.
hear from the photographer at this point.
Anything.
Yeah, and not even the store. I need to hear from the photographer.
Right, from
Okay,
this
'cause
dude that
like
he
the
didn't just-
most important event in my life.
Right.
Anyway, so 3 months goes by,
Ugh.
still nothing. I call again.
Yes.
4 months goes by, still nothing. I call again. So
I-
at 5
wait,
months,
You should.
keep
Can
going.
you not go in?
No, I did.
Oh,
So,
okay. I was like, I'd
so
be in
no.
there and I'd be like, oh wait. I'll wait till-
It's fortunate because where I worked was just down the street from where that photo place
Oh,
was, so I
okay.
could literally walk
Yeah.
and would frequently go in and talk to them and call them and be like, hey, where
My
are my
stuff.
pictures?
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, so this is what he promised me, this is what I paid for, da, 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 and I like start listing it out. And the manager like knew me by my first name at this point. And so 5 months goes by, 6 months goes by,
Bro.
and at 7 months I start calling like every week. I told them, like, I'm going to be calling you every single Wednesday and I need an updated report from you every single Wednesday about what this is. And so for another month and a half, I was calling them saying, hey, where is my stuff? And finally, like towards the end, I was calling them every day.
Yeah.
And I was so nice. I was
Yeah,
really nice.
right.
But they just kept giving me the runaround and the runaround.
That's
Finally,
Would they not tell him when you were going to be in? I know that
Yeah.
a lot of the time people aren't supposed to be like, oh, he works from 8 to 5.
No, they
or
would never
whatever.
tell me when he was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the other thing is I knew throughout this entire process that he was still taking wedding photos of other weddings because it was on his schedule. And
Right.
so he was getting pictures out to other people. And so
Well,
it was
what
just
the
my
heck?
stuff. And I was like, did he ruin my stuff?
Right, and if that's the case, say
Then
something.
you need to say something.
Say something.
Yeah, I need to know. You can't just
Yeah, now you're
because-
just making it worse,
Yeah.
letting it fester.
Anyway, so 8 months and 17 days goes by and I finally, for the first time, get a phone call from them.
Yeah.
And like they should have been calling me this whole time
Oh,
and
yeah.
telling me. But no, finally they call me and they say, hey,
Mhm.
your stuff is in. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I walked down there to go get my stuff. No album,
What the
no DVD, none of the other stuff that they promised me. It's literally just my photos and a photo book that they had put together. And fortunately, the photo book was lovely.
Yeah.
And like you could tell why you paid this artist to put it together because he really
Sure.
was talented, which is why I wanted him in the first place.
Yeah.
So they gave me the photo book and then they're like, oh, well, we have all this digitally, so I'll give you a flash drive to go with it.
Okay.
And then
thank
here
you.
are your, because this is back in the day when you're still scrapbooked. So I still
Yeah.
had I had a stack of, I think, 420 photos
Okay.
that I was going to like scrapbook and give out as gifts and stuff like that.
Sure.
Anyway, so he hands me all this stuff. And like I didn't get everything that I was promised, but I was like, okay, great. At least I have
At
the
least
flash
you have something to
drive.
say something.
Yeah. And then
Right.
I was like, okay, so how much do I owe you for these extra photos that I ordered? And this is what turned it.
I would have
yeah.
not paid anything. I'd been like, this effing guy.
Well, see, but that's because I'm nice. I'm a good
Well,
person.
no, I'd have been like-
but yeah, not that you're not a good person.
No.
That sounded bad. You're a terrible human being, Bobby. No. No. So anyway, so like it was this horrible experience, and finally, this is the only moment that turned it around for me. The manager looked at me and he said, "How long has it been since your wedding?" And I said, 8 months and 17 days. And he goes, "These pictures are free." And I was like, "Thank you. Good heavens! 8
Yeah.
months and 17 days to get your wedding photos. Oh my gosh, I could have been divorced by then.
Right,
Like seriously,
right.
could have had it annulled.
Yeah.
Could have found someone else and
That's
got married
almost like
again.
you could have had a child. That's when
Yeah,
you got
almost.
You could've-
Pretty dang close.
that. Yeah.
Anyway,
Could
like
you imagine you get your things and you're like, oh, look, we are married.
We are married.
With this.
Oh, here's my baby.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's crazy.
jeez, it was so frustrating. I think the main thing was the communication, the lack of communication,
Yes,
and they were
the mystery of not knowing.
yeah, like
no
tell
one's-
me,
Right.
tell me what's going on. Like
Even if you're like upfront being like, the computer isn't computering or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, tell me
or
something.
like he died. I would have been okay with that, and
Yeah.
I'd been like, great, can I go over to his house and raid his laptop? Thank
Right,
you.
like I just want the photos. Give me
Yeah.
I'll just give me the flash drive.
Just give me the flash drive.
stuff.
I would have settled for that.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
this point because I didn't get any of the other stuff that you promised me. But
Right.
anyway, it was so frustrating. Oh, anyway, so that was, I think, overall, that's the worst customer service experience I've
And
had.
yet also best on their side.
Yeah, and still best on their side because the manager finally turned it around right at the end. So anyway, okay, you got another bad one?
Yes.
Go for it.
This one literally happened like 2 days ago.
Really?
And it's not necessarily super bad, but I just was like, wow. So I do the garden, right? But then they also have red vests that are also in there, and they're supposed to do like not the watering, they have them as loaders, or they have them whatever. And if there's not a loader around, I will go help and do that. I'm not that person that's like, that's not my job.
That's not my job.
No, I try to help out with what I can. So I came back from going to the bathroom or something, and I was wiping my face, and this older lady looks at me and goes, "Can you pick these up?" And I'm like, okay, sure. You know, usually it's a, hey, do you work here? Which I hate that question because I'm obviously wearing a vest.
I've got a name tag.
And like whatever.
Walkie-talkie.
Yes, yeah. But it wasn't even like, hey, you know, because I was wiping my face off, it was hot, or being like, hey man, it's hot out here. Could you help me lift this or whatever? It wasn't that. It was just,
hey, pick these up for me, slave.
Can you get me some of these? And I walk over and I'm like, sure. She goes, I need 5 of these. I said, okay, let me go get you a cart. She's like, cool, I'll meet you at the thing.
The cash register.
At the cash register. So I'm like,
wow.
Nice. So again, it's not like necessarily bad, rude, but there's still whatever. But so I'm like, okay. So I go to lift them up, and I'm like, holy yeah, these are heavy. Yeah. Because they've been out in the rain, and it's like compost stuff, so it's like,
so it's all
it's kind of wet and it's whatever. So and they're like awkward. They're probably like the size of my torso. So I'm like, you know, whatever. I get the 5. I come over there, come up behind her in line. She goes, I also want one of those. I'm like, okay. Toss it on. You know, like at this point you're like, all right, it's fine, whatever.
Wow.
So we're standing there. Yeah, she like does some nice chit chat where she's like, it's pretty hot. And you're like,
oh, finally we're a human being now.
Yeah, now we're whatever. And I'm like, yeah. She turns to me and she goes, are you gonna be a nice person and help me to my car? And I said, yeah, I am. That's fine. And so she's like, okay. So she pays for her stuff, and we scoot out. And usually the protocol is, I'll be right back. Let me get my car, and they'll pull it up.
Sure.
I chuck it in the car. They drive away, right? Whatever. We get out there and she goes, oh, so I parked 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Do you want me to go get the car, or do you want to walk with me to my car? And I was like, it don't matter. I work till 6. Yeah. You know, like
whatever.
It's whatever, dude. And she's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, all right. I guess let's go. You know what I mean? Like, sure, because I want to haul these. Like, they're probably, if I had to bet, each one over 25 pounds. That makes it sound not very much, but when you
stack them all up together and they're wet and awkward,
it's like the awkwardness doesn't help. Anyway, so we go start walking, right? And we're at the one end, and then she's like, "Oh, my car's not in the aisle that I thought it was."
No.
So we keep walking, and we keep walking. And we keep walking.
She's gonna have you walk to her house at this point.
We walk to the other side of the parking lot. Like, she's one in from lumber.
Oh no.
Like whatever. And I was like, she's like, oh, sorry, forgot I was in lumber.
Oh no.
I was insane out with that guy. But anyways, so it was all fine. It's just one of those where you're like, all right.
This is not how I wanted my day to go.
And it's like I said, it's compost. It's poop, essentially, with dirt mix. And like, so it's like on my pants now, and I'm like, hey, and whatever. And if you ever, this is my one thing.
Okay.
If you go to pick something up, because there's certain things where, like, when you go to the store and you pick up pavers, you know full well you're going to pick up pavers. That's not an impulse buy.
No.
Make sure your car's empty. Do not show up and have your car be full of freaking stuff and then be like, oh, frick.
Let me move it. Rearrange my entire,
So hers had some stuff in there, and she's like, oh, let me move that. I'm like, okay. That's fine.
I'll just stand here with poop on me and wait.
So hurry and toss them in. I was like, all right, well, at least it's my break time. So then I just like wandered in, just like whatever. So it's more of like, if you're gonna ask someone for something, don't do it in a like polite way. I guess.
Be nice about it. Be prepared.
So that's not like super poopy. It was just kind of one of those where you're like, why are you making this the most weird,
so awkward
way possible? I guess. I don't know.
Maybe someone's always done it for her, and that was her first time.
I guess so.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Bring a person if you
bring
need
a
help,
person.
I guess.
No. Can I tell you a good one?
No.
Because I want to end on a positive note.
No, that's fine. I have a good one too.
You have a good one too? Okay.
No, I don't have an example of one.
You have a good one? Okay. So, Cabela's. I'm going to totally, like, tell you who it is. Cabela's, everybody.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
awesome.
The Cabela's over there?
Yeah, Cabela's here in where we live. 'Cause I don't want to go.
It's not somewhere else.
It's not somewhere else. I didn't go somewhere foreign.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, no. So Cabela's, they have those fish tanks, right? And like you can go and see the cool big fish from your area that live in these fish tanks. You're giving me the blankest look.
I've only been to Cabela's one time, and it was with my adoption friends.
Okay.
And they were trying to convince me to backpack
No.
over the mountain with them, and I was in a different place.
No.
then.
Okay.
So I remember kind of that there was a scenery thingy.
Yeah.
But
So
I
like in
didn't
the
look at
fishing
it.
section, they have these giant, and all Cabela's are like this.
Okay.
They have these giant fish tanks that you can go up and look at, like the fish that are from your area. So you know what you're fishing for,
Okay.
kind of type of thing. Anyway.
So you don't be surprised when you
So
catch
yeah, I
one.
don't know. I don't know why they do it, but it's really cool.
Okay.
And when my kids were younger, that was one of the activities we liked to go and do. If I needed something from Cabela's, we'd go and we'd look at the fish, and
Did
it was
you
very
need
exciting.
things often from Cabela's?
I mean, not terribly often, but enough
who
that the
are
kids
you?
would like to go see the fish tank, and sometimes we would just go see the fish tank.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just
So,
like
yeah, this
my
is
usual
fun.
week trip. to
Hey, when
Cabela's.
you've got little kids, you will find anything
Guys,
to
I'm
do
like,
to
what do
keep
you
them
buy?
entertained.
No, that's totally
Yeah.
fine. Like,
Yeah.
going to see live
Well, like,
yellows and stuff, like, whatever.
Like Ranger targets. I'd buy my shooting targets there, that
That's
kind of
fair.
stuff. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's like,
so my little kids, it was early in the morning, like right as Cabela's was opening, and we went to go see the fish tank.
Mhm.
And we got there maybe 10 minutes after opening, and
Okay.
the person who's in charge of the fish tank was there.
Oh.
And she's the fish lady. She will now forever be the fish lady.
Okay.
And she's not supposed to be seen by the public because it's not professional or whatever. So
it's not
it's
like
not
for her to
professional.
like sprinkle the fish dust in there.
Yeah, yeah. So for the Cabela's, they want to keep the fish tank
that's
magical.
like a Disneyland thing
Yes,
where you
yeah,
like you
very
gotta
much so.
keep it.
You gotta keep it clean. You gotta keep it magical for people to
Right.
come and see this awesome
Have
fish tank because
barely
it's very
seen
awesome.
it.
Anyway, so as we walked up to the fish tank, she immediately apologized. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm almost done. I'm late from the other Cabela's because we had an emergency fish situation. And I'm like,
Oh, no,
there's
CPR.
emergency fish situations? I didn't know
I
there
saw
was
videos
emergency.
of
Go
it.
ahead.
Sorry, I saw when they were like, this guy was giving CPR to a fish, and then the fish kind of like, and then he just, and then he just picked him up and tossed him to the freaking manta
Oh,
ray or
no.
whatever, and he just ate it.
Oh,
He
no,
just
no.
ate it. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, no.
Whatever their
So-
mystery was.
So there was a fish emergency, and so she was late getting there to take care of this fish tank. I was
Yeah.
like, no, it's cool, it's okay. She's like, here, I'll move out of your way and stuff. And like, she's not a front end person. She's not supposed to be interacting with customers,
right.
but she understood the Cabela's culture
Mhm.
of customer
Right.
first type of situation,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's not always correct. I don't think the customer should always be first, but in
No.
their culture, that's what they've been trained to do.
Right.
Anyway, and so I was like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And then my kids, being gregarious the way that they are, started asking the fish lady questions.
Mhm.
And the fish lady lit up. And she was so excited to talk about these fish
Yes.
to anybody that would
Right.
listen. And she made our morning. And she explained to us how the Cabela's do their fish tanks and what her job is, because she apparently the fish emergency was one of her fish from another store had scale rot, and they had to take it out of the tank, and she had to clean the fish, and she had to isolate the fish. So the fish was in her truck, and she was explaining all this kind of stuff to, and it wasn't just to my kids, because you know, like at Disneyland, that's kind of what they do. They just talk to the kids a little bit, you
Right,
know,
right.
or like in other situations where if you're a reasonable adult and the kid's asking questions, you talk to the kids.
Right.
But she was also making sure to include me, the adult, which would be normally an extremely awkward conversation, I think,
Yeah.
because you're the fish lady and I'm an adult that's staring at you.
Yeah.
But she was
Usually
so
yeah, adults don't care.
yeah,
And
the-
you're just
but
like-
the kids care.
Right.
But then she,
Like our earlier podcast.
yes, hey, listen to her.
Go back and listen.
Go back and listen. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah.
no, but she brought me into the conversation. She included the kids and provided an opportunity for them to ask more questions,
Yeah,
almost like an educator,
Yeah.
not just an employee.
Right.
And you could tell that she loved her job.
Yeah.
And she loved that we were asking her questions about her fish.
Yes.
And she had names for the fish.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she could tell you anything you
Were
wanted
they
to
fish
know.
names or were they like regular names?
No, I don't remember now.
What the
Dang
frick?
it, I wish I had thought about that harder. But yeah, it was just, and she made us feel like it was okay for us to be there.
Right,
and,
right.
and that she wasn't going to choose her weird thing that she had to do for her job over the customer.
Right.
So she put down everything to give us her time.
Yeah.
Even though she was already late because she had another store that she needed to get to, but she made us feel important and special and cared for.
Yes.
And I was like, man, can you imagine if everybody was like that everywhere all the
Yeah.
time? Like, if we were all kind to each other, like, you know, I'm interested in what you're doing as a person, and I'm excited to listen to you talk about it. in a customer situation sort of stuff. You know, like, I mean, not that you need to take a half an hour or whatever with every single customer interaction, but just
have a human interaction. That's kind of like when mine comes, where I'm like, I'll be honest with people and I'll be like, I don't know a single thing about plants except for put it in the dirt and water it, right? And so we'll like work through the problem together and like have a conversation and be like, this is what I know, here's what I offer you, and they'll be like, okay, well, I know this too. And when you combo it and you go, okay, so maybe we won't buy this plant.
Right.
Because
that's a bad choice for you.
This is not the situation. Okay, great. And so like that where you're like, you just talk to them as humans instead of like that barrier of like, I'm selling you something, it's got to be awkward.
I'm stuck behind the bureaucracy of the situation. Yeah. No, it was so cool. I love the fish lady. I wish I'd written a thank you letter at the time, but now it would be way too late.
Was she like an adult?
Yeah.
Or like a kid?
She was older than I was. She had grandkids.
Okay, so she was like a grandma?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was really fun. I love the fish lady. Wherever she is, I wish her well.
Maybe you should like ask.
Maybe I wonder
if they were to be like, it's Sally, would you be like, oh yes?
I would recognize her face, but I wouldn't recognize the name.
Did she tell you their name? Because sometimes I have you walk away and you're like, oh frick, I don't even know them.
I don't know. I don't think we exchanged names, and she wasn't wearing a name tag because she was a front end person.
Oh yeah.
So you know, she was just like in her, almost like a veterinarian.
Oh.
She was like a fish veterinarian.
Yeah.
I wonder if fish have a different doctor than
I don't know.
mammals.
Yeah.
Like, is it a veterinarian still? I have to go look that up.
I don't
know.
Hey.
Now I'm gonna learn a new word today. Woo!
It comes up in this veterinarian. You're like, no new word.
Fish veterinarian. Aquatic veterinarian.
Yeah. No, I think more people should do that because my mom just got an email from a lady. Like a lady called and she had that conversation where she's like working it out with her, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're just the tops. I'm gonna email I'm gonna send a letter or something, and then asked for her, not only my mom's email, but for the boss's email, which is also her email because she works the whole store. Anyways, and then she got it today and sent me a picture and was like, look at this nice lady sent me such a nice email.
I love that.
And it was just like, you should give this woman a raise because she's just so good and all this stuff and whatever. And so that
I tried to do that when I worked for Joanne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like they had a program there where like if you were a good like if you provided good customer service and someone said something to your manager about it, they would give you a little pair of
like
scissors. Decorative pin scissors. Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I hate that.
You hate that?
Yes, because they use it for us. They're like at least at Lowe's.
Okay.
They were like, get a good survey. Where only a 10 is acceptable. If you get a 9, it's not acceptable. And so then they're like, but make sure they put your name on it. And then you'll get a reward, like if they do that, but then you have to pressure them into giving you a 10. So it's like this weird reversal of like what's such a good thing is turned into now a
bad thing.
A bad thing.
Oh, I don't like that. No, for us when it was John, and maybe it changed over time, but when I was there, it was like, hey, if you get mentioned in a positive light, here's your reward, and it wasn't like
that was it. Like you didn't have to ask them to do whatever. If your name got mentioned, it just made you feel really good. If you were like, hey, I provided a good service and someone recognized me, oh, thank you, and then you get a little pin scissors, and you're like, oh, I did something great. Anyway, but there was a dude. This was back during one of the wars that America was in over in deserty places. I don't remember. Anyway, this dude came in and he was clearly a widower and had never been in a craft store in his life. He just didn't know anything about it. He was lost from the get-go. So I was like, hi, little puppy, I'll help you. You're lost. Let me help you. And he was like, well, I know that like back a long time ago when soldiers would come home from war, they would, put yellow ribbons in their yard and say, welcome home. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know kind of about that from like, a million years ago. And so he's like, my son's coming home this week and I want to put some yellow ribbons in my yard, but I don't know how to tie ribbons or anything. I don't know anything about ribbon. Do you know how to tie your shoes?
Well,
I mean that in the nicest way.
He wanted like fancy, pinwheel ribbons or something. Anyway, so I'm like, oh, and this was back before like Amazon was really taking off.
Right.
I'm a million years old at this point. Anyway, so he was like, well, what kind of ribbon do I want? And he had brought up the satin stuff that he wanted me to cut for him. And I'm like, no. That's not going to stand out at all. You need something with wire in it so that it stands up. So I helped him, and there was just miraculously happened to be this wonderful discounted wire yellow ribbon. And I was like, this is what you want.
Yellow.
Yeah. So he's like, awesome, this is so good. And then he just got so sad and he's like, I don't know how to tie bows. And I'm like, bro, I do. I know how to tie it.
Did you know how to buy a shoe?
He didn't know how to do it. Anyway, so he's like, and I told him, look, if you buy this, I'll tie it.
Yeah.
And so I got my mom.
Yeah.
And she and I tied up all these bows.
Yeah.
And then So and then after I clocked out and stuff, I went over to this dude's house and I put him on the trees for this dude. And I'm not saying this because I'm a good person or something like that.
See, it goes back to our other podcast.
Yeah.
Saying nice things is all like, I'm bragging. It's
I
not.
know. Anyway, I'm not trying to brag, but it was something, and I wanted to say, thank you for your service or whatever. So
100%.
we did this, and we went and tied up all these bows in this dude's yard, and then I never heard from him again, right? He never came into the store or anything. But then later, I got a pin, and it was from this dude, and I'm like, no way, that's so awesome.
Yes.
And it was because it was a human talking to another human.
Right.
And
Actually
I had
caring about what's happening here, not just to like, I gotta get through this.
Yeah. Not that I would recommend to any young ladies to go to a stranger's house and put bows in their yard. Please don't do that. We live in a different time. I would not want my daughter to do that, but that's what we were doing at the time.
Right.
So anyway, it was like, just be a person and have a good customer experience for everybody.
Yes.
Even if you have to tell them no, say it nicely.
Right.
Anyway, well, you had a good one too. What was your good one?
that was, we discussed it.
Oh, you did?
Just
Okay.
those things where you have to work it
Just
through
be a
with people.
person.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
like caring about what's happening. You don't have to full care. You don't have to,
No.
don't have to go to everyone's house.
No,
like,
you don't
plan
go
their
to
plans for
everyone's
you.
house. Yeah.
But like the fact when they ask you a question, you're not just like, over there, and you're like, that's it. And
Yeah.
like sometimes it's okay to walk over and be like, this is crazy. I just learned this fact about this plant, and they're like, whoa, I don't want it because of that. And you're like, well,
there you go.
now you know.
My mom got that's not my department.
Yeah?
Like yesterday, she got that from someone. Well, that's not my department.
In the Lowe's.
Not on the Lowe's. At like I don't know. She's dealing with an insurance company or something.
Oh yeah.
And that's not my department. Great. Well, how do I figure it out then?
Right, like send me to someone.
Yeah.
That's what, like at Lowe's, they're supposed to be like, oh, that's fine. I'll just walk you to there, and then I'll find someone for you.
I love it when they do that. I know maybe I shouldn't, but I do love that. It probably drives the employees crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the more honest you are, the better. Because I'll be like, they'll be like, I need to find this light bulb, and we'll be like, I don't freaking know the difference.
I have no idea.
80,000 light bulbs. I don't have any idea what you need. But let me take you to aisle 8 over here, and I'll find Nick, and we'll get
Nick
you
will
here,
know.
and Nick will know.
Nick will know.
And that's fine. And you like, usually they're like, yeah, have you seen how many? And I'll be like, yeah, I work here, and it's awful.
It's crazy. There's no way anyone would know how to find this.
Yeah, because then they don't like, when you like, I feel like when you BS it and then they're like, well, I know that's a lie.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, yeah, you're right.
It didn't help any of us, right?
Yeah, it just makes it whatever. So
yeah. Oh.
It just makes it weird.
Yeah. Anyway, so be good at your insurance. Be good at your job.
Be good at your insurance.
Be good at everything. Just be good customers. Anyway, we're getting the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
I got it this time.